What's funny about it is it's just a girl acting like a dog.
Jenna's gone viral for videos like these.
Bad girl, you know better than that. You pee outside. Bad girl, come on. Into your cage. Nope, you know better than that.
And as shocking as some of those clips are, acting like a puppy is something that Jenna was doing long before she ever posted on the internet.
So very innocently, you know, as a kid, I would beg my parents to like throw a ball and I would like run after the ball too. You know, I would like be on all fours with the dog, like our childhood dog. I would beg my parents to like walk me out on a leash. In my mind, I mean, I'm a little kid, so like it's nothing like sexual or kinky or anything.
Because what, you're like 10 or 12 at this point?
Yeah, like it just like very, very innocent. But I remember very distinctly when I was like 9, 10, my parents had kind of like a sit down with me and they'd be like, when is this behavior going to end?
And this behavior is not an anomaly. In fact, there are thousands of people that are a part of the puppy play community, which is actually a subsect of the pet play community.
Within it, it's kind of like puppy play, kittens, you know, like the Neko girls, bunnies, foxes, like pretty much any animals.
Now, all this shit started from cartoons, bro. Nobody cannot tell me, or nobody can tell me otherwise. All of this shit started from animation and cartoons and even movies, bro. And that's why we have some fucked up adults today. Because they brainwash us from such a tender age all the way up to adulthood. And, you know, subconsciously we're programmed to like think a certain way. I mean, some get affected based on how they were raised, and some doesn't based on how they were raised. And you know that means stuff they were exposed to, type of what should I say, discipline that was instilled in them, and all of that stuff. So all of those things plays a part. So that's really my take on how all of this came about. I don't think any of this is natural. I've never come upon anything about a history lessons of persons doing anything like this, bro, before TV existed.
Horses are like one of my personal faves to watch. It's incredible. They like look like horses. That's probably my favorite, like to watch and to look at because it's just so intricate.
Are there other animal play communities? Like, are there stork play communities? That's like what came to my mind.
Stork play, that would be incredible. Probably, I mean, if you can think of it, it probably exists somewhere.
Look, I'm 28 years old and I hadn't heard of this stuff until I met Jenna. So how did she find out about the puppy play community at 18 years old?
Yeah, I didn't even know that there was a community out there of people who did puppy play until I was probably 18 at a rope convention. So like a shibari rope convention, and there was a couple puppies there and we were talking and I was like, wait, I like have been doing this since I was a kid, like meeting people.
What? When she said puppies, I'm thinking, like, oh, people had their dogs there. But no, she's literally talking about people that are acting like bro. My bro, you know we're fucked, man. You know we're fucked when you see shit like this. She clearly has some sort of mental illness. That doesn't make her a bad person. But it's not normal for somebody to have this type of behavior, bro. It's not. It's just not normal. And it is just fucking insane that she became a millionaire just by posting pictures of her being herself on the internet and OnlyFans. But yo, man, I have so many questions. I'm trying to analyze all the information and trying to figure out like why or how. But how would take me back to what I said about all of this starting from the television, but just why is just a whole nother story. I don't even know where to begin, but let's hear the rest of her journey.
People who are actually like interested in something that I was super interested growing up. It was just kind of like a shock and like it felt good. I didn't feel as crazy.
So this isn't a gimmick. Jenna's been acting like a dog her entire life. But that begs the question, is her content a realistic representation of how she actually acts? In her free time, does she really eat dog food and drink water out of a toilet bowl?
A lot of what I produce online is kind of like laughing at this aspect of my my life and my personality, real people that really do puppy play don't really do what I do. You know, I'm kind of making fun of myself whenever I post, you know, the things that I do online. I would not classify what I do outside in front of other people as like a scene or play or anything like that. If anything, you can totally bash me for being a public nuisance. I will take that, and I 100% am.
You and I both probably.
Yeah, a lot of people on the internet. Yes, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna drink out of this bowl at this mall, or I'm gonna, you know, be walked on the street, or I'm gonna like pose in front of like this dog store, or whatever. Like I felt like it was all a big joke.
Since her content is a parody of her real life fetish, I was curious to ask Jenna what she actually gets out of engaging in puppy play.
Puppy play for me is very much about like comfort and submission and like being taken care of. Like when I do it privately, it's not a sexual thing at all. So I very much play it out for the camera, and I think it's fun, and I think that it's, you know, like super, but it's not as much of a turn on for me as a lot of people would think.
So, knowing that Jenna engages in nonsense.
So we're ruling out the fact, well, we're ruling out the option that it would have been a king. And we learned that she's a troll on the internet. Other thing is, it's really surprising to see her just be normal. You know, I think not a lot of people, and I think this is just due to ignorance, but a lot of people, when they see things on the internet, they immediately form a perception that that is that, or for better word, it's set in stone. When behind the scenes, there could be a lot of puppeteering going on. For example, based on what I understand from what she said, is that most of the things that she posts, she just does it for content. She just plays it out, make a mockery of it or a joke or whatever. It kind of sounds like it's not something that she does 24/7. At least that's my understanding of the situation. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you're watching and you're not yet subscribed, now is a great time to do so. Hit that subscribe button.
Sexual puppy play, I think it's important that she clarifies something.
Oh, a huge misconception that I think about just like puppy play in general, the type of people that overlap with like zoo and like zoophiles. I don't want anything to do with like a real dog. I don't want anything to do with a real animal in any capacity. I pretend like I'm a puppy. It's a headspace. I just want to be dumb and have fun and not have any worries in the world. But I do get a lot of questions about that, and I get a lot of requests from people about that, and that is never something that I will ever offer or entertain or anything. I find that despicable.
Kudos to her for that.
Clarifying things, we need to address the infamous Puppy Girl Jenna death hoax.
The #1 search result when you type in Puppy Girl Jenna is Puppy Girl Jenna death.
Oh, so I didn't know about this until relatively recently, where there's like a whole bunch of people who are convinced that I died. And I found the article, and it's that I died of like carbon monoxide poisoning. Not even something cool. Like, could you make my death hoax like fun? And like, I don't know, like I could have gotten like rabies or something. Like that would have been funny. Like I could work with that, but just like carbon monoxide poisoning.
Before we get into Puppy Girl Jenna's career on
Well, bruh, yeah, I'm kind of embarrassed here, but it's really nice to see that she has a sense of humor. You know, she sounds intelligent for a one. So even though I think she's not dumb, you know, and that is good. So based on what I've seen so far, everything just seems to be like all fun and games. But the video is not done yet.
OnlyFans and how she's gone about making millions of dollars, I wanted to ask her some cold-ass questions that have been bouncing around in my head.
Much like humans, dogs can be very territorial. Would you consider yourself having any ops in the animal kingdom?
The animal kingdom. Ops in the animal kingdom. Like real animals, like in general.
Yeah, is it like chihuahuas you might not like, squirrels, That could be other dog breeds. Could be mice.
I do feel uncomfortable around squirrels. They are very like jumpy, jittery. When people used to ask me that question, I used to say cats, and I would allude to Belle Delphine because I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I love her. She's amazing. Like, shout out to Belle Delphine.
So, slaves, obviously bad in human form.
Oh.
How do you feel as a puppy girl owning a dog?
Oh, okay. You really caught me off guard with that question. I was like, oh no, where are we going? Oh my God. Oh, that's good. Like, if I ever get a dog, it's like, oh, well, I'm just, my dog is getting a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll,
Just like puppy friendship.
yeah, puppy friendship and just, yeah.
It's not a slave thing.
No, I don't. I would no. For the record, I do not condone slavery. I do not in any capacity, in any form.
You might be wondering how a girl who's into non-sexual puppy play has made a career off sexualizing puppy play on OnlyFans. Well, let me introduce someone.
I'm here with Lorenzo Adams, correct?
Yes.
Nerdballer TV.
I feel like I need my lawyer present here.
But you and Jenna have a relationship, correct?
That is correct. Yes, Your Honor.
They don't have just any relationship. Lorenzo is the mastermind behind the entire operation, creating a detailed marketing plan that utilized short-form content to drive traffic to Jenna's OnlyFans that Lorenzo manages. One of their most profitable videos was a short clip of Jenna urinating on the ground in public that they sold for $20 and was bought by nearly 10,000 people.
10,000 people.
Bruh, 10,000 people bought a video of her pissing in public. Like, bruh, we're fucked when shit like this sells, man. Like, what are you even doing with that video? Like, why would you even pay for something like that? I'm sure that $20 could have gotten you something for breakfast. Bro, like, it never ceases to amaze me, some of the shit you find on the internet. Like, anytime you see something and you say, wow, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen or heard, the next day or even the next minute or the next second, you scroll, boom, you see something even more hilarious or more. Bro, it's crazy to think about. They sold a video for $20 and almost 10,000 people bought the video. Why? Now, everybody got to feed their family, but I'm never going to support OnlyFans. And another thing is, why? But, yeah. Anyway, so each his own.
Buy that clip for like $20. That's like pretty insane. Like off that one like clip.
It's like $200,000. So my question is, for anyone out there that is judgmental towards Jenna, would you pee on the ground and film it for $200,000, or would you rather work your day job for 4 years for $200,000?
Depending on your job, like I probably wouldn't quit a really good job for that one instance. You have to keep in mind there's a lot that goes into it. Like, how do you even get that many people to even know you have that, like that clip exists
On the marketing end.
You know what I'm saying? But like, there's people out there who would be willing to do that, and if you told them, okay, then go do it. Like, well, okay, I'll go pee, but now what? Like, how do I get that in front of that many people who are then also interested in purchasing it? So there's a lot.
Why is this even a conversation, bro? Why? Why is this even a... Oh my gosh, man. I can't.
More that goes into it to even get to the point where you can even monetize that type of content. It's not just as simple as like, oh yeah, I'll go pee if that many people would see it. Because even if they do it that once, then what? Like, what do you do after that? You take that money and then you have to figure out like, how do you keep that momentum going and running and stuff like that.
What's fascinating to me is you had made a comment a few days ago or a week ago that you're not really even a content creator at heart, right?
Now, this surprised me to hear because Puppy Girl Jenna is not someone who actually enjoys her career as a content creator.
I look at myself and like my goals and aspirations, and then I look at you or even at you, and it seems like content is like always like at the front of your brain, and like it's just like fascinating because like my brain just does not work like that at all. Like I think like long term wise, like I don't feel like a content creator, and I feel like it's definitely like a detriment to myself, but I'm just out here having a good time.
Yeah, which is true. I mean, like at the end of the day, like she's like, she didn't get into this because she, oh my God, I love making content. Yeah. And if honestly, again, if she really wanted to, like she would be trying to collab with everyone, fly everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, we definitely try to produce the amount of content that she's comfortable with.
Yeah, I feel like when you commodify your personality, there is like a fine line between like, oh, I could make this much money, but at what cost to like my mental health and how much I enjoy my life.
I could have made like a lot more money and I could be a lot more relevant, but I just like don't care.
With that,
Yeah, my man made a really good point when it comes on to that. And it's not a lie because for the past about 3 weeks, bro, I was really stressed out, mainly because um I was going through some stuff with work, and I was going through the process of getting all the parts for building my new system. I'll link a video of me building that so you guys can see how it came out and all the parts that I put into it. And it took a toll on me because I went through the process of expecting the packages to come at a set date, then dealing with the process of delays and all of that stuff, bro. And it really stressed me out. I did not post any content for a while, and I'm telling you. So it really ties into when somebody says, okay, they're gonna push themselves to this extent to create this amount of content just so they can make this amount of money. So it ties in and it does affects your mental health, because if your life just becomes a job, then you kind of don't have a life anymore. It's not fun anymore because you're just doing it to get paid. So I definitely do understand what she said and what he said, and what the whole conversation was about. I definitely don't want to be one of those people who really get consumed by, like, get consumed about, or get consumed in just all about making money. Mind you, I love making content. And if I didn't, I wouldn't still be doing YouTube, knowing that it's very hard to grow on YouTube, you know. Excuse me. So it's very hard to grow on YouTube. And if I didn't love making content, I wouldn't continue. And I wouldn't try my best to be consistent. But at the end of the day, to each his own, and it is what it is. I'm still gonna go ahead and push out content for you guys. My ultimate goal is to become a full-time creator where I can work from the comfort of my home and still have more time than I would, from doing a 9 to 5. So I can spend it on myself, my family, and just my future. So that's really the ultimate plan, and that's why I'm doing this. But enough about me.
that said, the financial side of acting like a dog on the internet's got to be pretty enticing if she's been doing it for 4 years.
Being a human is not always the most lucrative career. How does being a dog pay?
That's good. I like how you worded it. I have been
I told you I have some dumb questions.
I've been extremely blessed in like my finances. Over my career, there was like a point in time where I was making like 6 figures a month, that's not a real number. Like it's just not like real. But like over the lifetime of my kind of business and everything, like I've been very fortunate and to make like over $1 million, and like that's insane. Like that is crazy to me that like so many people have either like supported me or thought that it was weird enough in order to be like, I'm kind of curious. I want to see how this is. So, again, I'm very fortunate. Most of the things that I'm able to do now, like I'm a avid reader. I love art. And so I'm able to like go take, trips across the country and go to museums that I've always wanted to go to.
Reading and traveling aren't the only interest that puppy girl Jenna has outside of her job. I want to show you 2 of her favorite hobbies, the first of which is cooking.
All right, for those that didn't know, Jenna is actually an immaculate cook. Here's the breakfast spread that she has put up for us.
Wow.
What do we have here, Lorenzo? Break it down.
Honestly, this is like a light work for Jenna. This is not really anything crazy, but still really good.
Yeah, people might not know. I've been over here where they've had like an elaborate duck dinner. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, that was crazy. I remember. I do remember that.
I personally think that Puppy Girl Jenna is probably the best Puppy Cook, the Puppy Girl Jenna food exclusive breakfast edition. You ain't know about that, boy.
Man, like, that is why when you see people on the internet, guys, don't always jump to conclusions or jump to believe that they're X type of person all the day of their life. Because a lot of times, especially in today's era of content creation, is just an act. Because I would have never imagined that she was this polite, this intelligent. Appears kind of modest, but also, having like these meaningful aspirations and very creative hobby. She loves cooking and she's good at it. It's really fascinating to see, man. Like, that's why you cannot accept those IRL streamers. For the people that do IRL stuff, yeah, they think of what you want to do with those. But for people who just produce content, like, don't use the content to paint that permanent picture of that person, because they could be doing better stuff behind the scenes. Just like Jenna here.
And it's nothing special. I mean,
It's extravagant by my standards. I just whip up some scrambled eggs and I feel like I'm Chef Boyardee in that hoe.
Chef Boyardee.
Another hobby you might not expect the puppy girl to have is training and caring for birds.
Jenna is the proud owner of what is it called?
So he's a Camelot macaw. He's a second generation hybrid between a Catalina and a Scarlet. He just turned a year in January.
Yeah, the color on this bird is incredible.
Come here. So he's a blue-green Camelot. He has all these like beautiful blue-green feathers. He's still a baby. He hasn't molted all of his feathers yet.
Give you a little touch. Oh man, you soft and
It's a little soft.
Yeah. So have you learned anything about like animals or yourself or birds through owning this?
Patience. I've learned. I was up, 3 times a day feeding him, teaching him how to free fly, how to fly in general, how to walk around, how to perch. So I learned a lot of patience. And driving too, I had never driven farther than like Dallas.
Really?
From here, yeah, like now we've been to everywhere, like all the way up to like New England, I think was like my furthest that I drove with him. I think we did like 30 hours on the road just so he would be able to fly for a couple days.
Will he step on me if I put my arm out, or
We can try.
it won't offend him?
No.
Will I just do like a gesture towards his stick? I want to touch your hands. Oh, it's a handshake. Oh man, I love that.
I feel like it's not a ton different than having like a dog, He's just a wickedly intelligent dog that can fly.
Do you feel like you relate to him in that?
Yeah, wait. Yeah, you're right. Not the flying part. That would be fun.
I'm sure this video would get a lot more views and be an easy slam dunk for me if I was negative to Jenna this entire time. But I think the reality of who she actually is and who she portrays herself to be online is really fascinating and worth showing you guys. Not to mention, Jenna and Lorenzo were actually 2 of the first YouTubers to be kind to me. I met them when I barely had 2,000 subscribers, and they let me into their home to do a house tour and even took me out to an expensive dinner. So I would like to thank them for their kindness and also for the opportunity to film this.
Wow.
As always, the extended cut is on Patreon, and I would like to ask you guys, if you're not following me on Instagram and
All right, guys. So that was amazing to watch. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, it's not what I expected at all. But I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say. So definitely drop your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Like the video if you do. Drop a dislike if you don't. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one.